I just wanted to drop into your internets and your social medias to say I think we're taking this day by day. And trees are very, very cool. Plus, Mother Nature's magnificent. And so I'm outside and the breeze is blowing. And I'm very glad that I'm alive today. And these trees have been here a whole lot longer than every single person on earth. And trees are cool. And today was a pretty good Texas day. I thought Texas handled it pretty well. The mayor, Sylvester Turner in Texas, Houston, was like, we should all be required to play maximum defense and wear masks through all of May. And police officers were like, we don't know about that. And then today, Governor Abbott rolled out a plan for the month. Most of the next major steps taking place 2 weeks from now, which still gives us 2 more weeks of data to assess exactly what is going on with all things that are happening in the world right now. And there are a lot of things happening in 2020, bro. I don't know if you know that. There are definitely a lot of things happening. So we're taking it day by day, it seems like. It feels like we're in uncharted territory, like none of us have ever been through all these things that are happening at once right now together before. So, the thing is that like the governor law supersedes local law, and so we're not being required to pay a penalty to wear masks. And I think the overall Texan thing is, and it should be Earth thing, is just play smart defense. There are, the stats out there show that if you go into a store and have a mask, and someone goes into a store and they have a mask or are already in the store, then at the time you were in the store, you have a 1.5% chance of catching the virus. So at times when people are in close quarters, then yeah, both people wearing a mask. Like if you're going into a subway, absolutely. If you're going into an elevator, I would carry bottles of super disinfectant for the outside of your body. And I would avoid elevators, so I'd probably take stairs anyway. But open air spaces that don't have proper ventilation are bad, especially when you just gotta stand there and breathe. So basically, our Republican governor and Sylvester Turner, like an episode of Parks and Rec, our Democrat and Republican Texans have worked together. Like everybody in Texas is working hard to stay cool, although homicides are up in Houston because more arguments are happening. But that both sides are working together to make sure we all take this super seriously. All branches of the military are taking it seriously. All the nurses and doctors are taking it seriously. I'm pretty sure all the people who are bringing us our food and making sure the supply chains stay up are taking it pretty seriously. So as we take it day by day, what is it, April 27th? Everybody played maximum defense. And so as the world turns, day that was today as a Houston Texan, I was glad to see that, Texas is at least working together on every level to do the right thing, but not push anything way ahead of its time. So we have 2 weeks to figure out the next steps together. And nobody knows what happened to Kim Jong-un or Kim Un-jong. That's wild. There are conflicting stories. The truth has been a hard thing to gather these days. But I know society works when we all have food, water, someone to love, electricity. I remember television used to be free. You used to get TV for free. I don't know if you guys know that. Back in the day, like the 70s and shit, they had 3 TV channels, and most of them had really great content and programming. And then that's why they had commercials, because you had to, you got the things for free, but they gave you a commercial. Only back then it was unlike YouTube where they had to pay their people more than a 0.0001% of. What talking about? Anyway, so they used to give people TV for free, and then we got the internet. So, and Elon's put up like 1,000 Starlinks that everybody can see, 2% of the time. So, at some point, everybody you would think would have good internet, good electricity, and then running water, food, and someone to love, and something to do. So it seems like we're taking steps to get there. And we only move a little faster than trees. Asterisk. So yeah, the sun will probably rise again tomorrow. And we got a lot of things we got to figure out together. Locally, statewide, nationally, country, and as a planet. Because if anybody's going to talk to me about infrastructure, if you're being serious about infrastructure, your infrastructure plan has to be along the contours and the forms and shapes of Mother Nature. Like, you can't have your zoning infrastructure. You're going to build the coolest infrastructure of all time that's going to last thousands of years. That is just going to work amazingly. You can't build infrastructure along quote unquote state lines or national lines. You got to build it with the planet. Be very Frank Lloyd Wright or Howard Rourke, where And so if anybody's going to talk about infrastructure, and we have to talk about infrastructure because hurricane season is coming up, most of our shit is based from the 60s or 80s at best, and then somehow good public technology just shut down. We've been running in place forever, but we're moving forward. I guess that's the point. And I'm proud of everybody. You're playing pretty good defense, but please spend extra time being cool. And there's no reason to be gaslighting or uncool to people right now. Being cool and being nice is excellent defense. And as your planetary defense commander, I got to bring up the fact that, look, dude, for 20 years, in 20 years, right after the Y2K bug, we saw New York get hit hard. And now it's 20 years later, and we're watching New York get hit super hard again. Now, I've been to New York, and I love New Yorkers. So, the whole thing, the overall situation is not simple, and there's no uniform environment happening in every state or city right now. I mean, slow Thanos is hitting us. And if someone knows how to build a chart, I would like to see a chart that shows me how many Americans died every single month, at least back to JFK. I'm okay if you want to go back to Washington, if you can find me that data. I think as Planetary Defense Commander and as people, and everybody's Space Force now, that it'd be best to figure out exactly how good or bad we're doing. Well, that question feels dangerous, or somebody would have asked it or presented the chart before. Anyway, it's a beautiful day, and there are 2 sunspots on the sun right now. I'm pretty sure if you have your own eyeballs and are good enough at seeing the sun, or have a telescope with or without special filters, you can see that there are always sunspots on the sun. Usually, and they're like, hey dude, there's sunspots on the sun. Sometimes you can see them. It helps when it's foggy or smoky, but I believe in sunspots. And so we have a sunspot from solar cycle 24 and solar cycle 25, and we are in a deep solar minimum, and the rumor is that things get better when solar maximum kicks back up, and that is coming. So the good news is we're getting more in touch with Mother Nature and our families. And that may be a good thing. Feels like a good thing. And like I've been saying for 7 years, this old way, the 2000 to 2020 or 2019 way ain't gonna work, and you can't. Shit's just gonna change. Tables gonna turn. Seasons are going to change. So let's be ready. Yay, Asteroid Fight Club, Space Force, America, and Earth. Team Earth. All right. So everybody stay cool. And I love you. And I'm proud of you. God bless everyone. Merry Christmas. And happy 4th of July. Let us all be super smart until 4th of July, and then let's figure out how to celebrate well. To do that, though, we're going to step up our testing. Though every single person that says, if you get that cotton tip shoved in your brain, it is not a comfortable feeling. I got to confess something to you. As a man, whether it be my teeth or my body, I do not like going to the doctor. So I've always almost avoided doctors like at all costs, like Ron Swanson style. So I would just like to avoid even getting a damn Q-tip into my brain. Though I would do it if a pretty enough girl held my hand, I guess. Who knows? We'll see. Like I said, let's take it day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, moment by moment. Okay, cool. Ready? Break. And then come back together better than ever.